Sean Calmes is a little scared about it. I had no idea what you meant when you said, yeah, he looked like the gay homie. Then he said, yo. He said, yo, when are we going to get the chance to, kick it? Like we can just hang out. We got to pause. Okay, yo, why don't we go shopping? He asked me. I'll pay for it. I thought, this is a dirty game. Sean Diddy Calmes hissed angrily, his voice shaking with anger. He gripped the edge of the defendant's table with both hands, sending a shiver through the New York courtroom in May 2025. There is a big project coming up about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, and P. Diddy. Yes, did he do it right? I know you've talked a lot about it on social media. He did it. A few minutes ago, Diddy walked in with an air of confidence. His cold eyes hid the fact that he was lonely because he had no family with him. Nobody from Diddy's family showed up, not even his adopted son, who used to be his pride and joy. He was left to deal with the ghosts of his past by himself. Who would have thought that the music mogul, who was once thought to be unbeatable, would be pushed so far that he would almost fail? By the FBI or the victims who spoke out? No. By an old enemy who will never give up? Yes. 50 Cent. Go to the jail. And will you just visit him for fun? I'm not sure. Look, you think he might feel like I'm his enemy right now. Wait, what is he doing now? Yes, why would you feel that way? And it wasn't a recording? That had already made headlines. That shocked everyone in the courtroom. It was an abstract picture with blood-red streaks and faint symbols that used to hang in Diddy's house. The $21, 1 cent million painting was revealed by 50 Cent with the caption, "Real art speaks for itself," hinting at secrets from Diddy's infamous parties attended by those closest to him. At first, that day's hearing was seen as just another step in Diddy's ongoing legal battles. People there, including reporters and fans, thought they would see Diddy, who had a very expensive legal team protecting him, calmly answer the prosecution's questions. But the atmosphere in the courtroom became unbearable when the plaintiff's lawyer got up and announced that an unexpected piece of evidence would be presented. An abstract painting that used to hang quietly in the mansion where Did's family gathered was found to reveal secrets that not even his family could keep hidden. According to early research, this object had a connection to one of Diddy's famous white parties. It had a faint message for her hidden in the color streaks, which suggested a link to the mogul's adopted son who lost his mother after finding Kim Porter's diary and reading about dark secrets. No one was sure what it was, but the name behind the news sent chills through the hall. 50 Cent. It was impossible for anyone, not even Diddy, to miss 50 Cent's crushing blow, which was shaped by his unique style. That event not only shook Diddy's empire to its core, but it also started a dramatic new episode that promised to reveal secrets that had never been seen before. I do not have a support system or a group of artists I can lean on to do what I need to do. From the start, I've had to be by myself. Therefore, I don't always have to follow their instructions and act in a certain way. This is what 50 Cent told the media in an Instagram post, an abstract painting with blood-red streaks and a faint writing saying, "For her," used to hang in Diddy's mansion, which is where his famous white parties took place. He put a hint in the caption that said, "Real art speaks for itself." Real art speaks for itself. It meant that someone had chosen the truth had to be told. The post on X went viral with the handle #the talking painting. This led to rumors that someone close to Diddy was working with 50 Cent to reveal dirty secrets from the white parties. Netizens took apart every part of the picture, from the letters RB to a faint outline, making it a sign of defiance. The Los Angeles art scene used to see the picture as a sign of unrestrained creativity because of its crazy swaths of color and odd shapes. For 10 years, it was only talked about as part of Diddy's expensive lifestyle, showing up briefly in stories about the style of high society. However, 50 Cent had good judgment and gave the picture to the police, which made it a legal tool. He gave it to a group of forensic image researchers who started to see things that didn't seem right. The vague lines seemed to have hidden meanings, from small symbols to light silhouettes that were put on purpose. Experts thought that the painting with the RB marking and the inscription "For her" might have been made by a witness connected to Roger Bonds who saw shady deals at Diddy's white parties, but it would take more time to figure out what it meant, what it really means. Ye Ninja. Prosecutors said the picture showed signs of witness intimidation like the 200 calls Diddy made. Social media started to buzz with posts about the painting, including ones by 50 Cent that seemed to hint that the truth was getting closer. This created more interest and pressure on Diddy before the trial. I had to learn about the real estate in the area in order to help with what happens after big events. You know, some of the good things Tyler Perry did in Atlanta, and you'll see. As Diddy's trial reached a crucial point, the stifling courtroom was filled with a heavy air. It was during this time that 50 Cent's legal team unlocked the picture and revealed secrets about the white parties. There were reports that Diddy's family was fighting over inheritance, so he showed up looking smug while his anxious eyes searched the empty seats where not a single family member, not even his adopted son, was sitting. His legal team, which was made up of top lawyers, stood straight, ready to fight any move the prosecutors made. No one thought that a surprising piece of proof would be enough to make Diddy's carefully built armor shake. On that day, the lawyer stood there with a firm voice. We present a new piece of evidence, a piece of art that was once shown to the public but may hide information about the defendant's behavior. The courtroom went quiet, and Diddy's brow furrowed a little. He looked quickly at his lawyer, as if he were trying to guess what was coming up. What was coming up? The picture with its tangled swaths of color was shown on a big screen. With the help of an expert in image analysis, the prosecutor started with a preliminary showing. They said that parts of the painting, like the part here inscription and the RB, marking that matched the handwriting of a witness, seemed to reveal secrets from Diddy's white parties, where illegal activities were kept hidden. But they made it clear that the process of decoding was still going on and that the picture was just the beginning of finding out bigger secrets. There were whispers all over the courtroom. Reporters were scrawling quickly, and the panel members looked at each other with interest. Diddy started to lose his cool. He had always seemed like he couldn't be hurt. He leaned forward and whispered to his lawyer, something very important. He looked at the screen with his eyes. When the prosecutor suggested that a close friend or family member with painful secrets might have given the picture to the police to use against Diddy, he could no longer hide his unease. His eyes were shaking, and he clenched his hands as if he were haunted by an unexpected betrayal. "Who brought this out?" he asked in a low voice that was full of doubt, as if he had just realized that someone he trusted might have betrayed him. The judge hit the gavel and said, "Order!" But Diddy kept talking and pointed at the lawyer. 50 is trying to destroy me. Does calling Puff gay all the time damage your relationships in Hollywood? I don't call him gay. Let me read it, I said. His lawyers quickly pulled him back to his seat, but his reaction showed how scared he was. The picture had made Diddy feel uneasy, even though he hadn't fully figured it out yet. It made him think that secrets he thought were buried might be coming to light through something he used to be proud of, not through testimony or actual proof. When the trial was over, Diddy walked out of the courtroom with a tense face and empty eyes, as if he knew that this picture was just the start of a bigger storm. At the prosecutor's table, a forensic image analyst who was presented as having worked with the FBI in the past took the stand. He broke down every part of the painting in a steady, calm voice. Each word hit Diddy like a hammer to the confidence. The expert thought that a faint outline in the bottom left corner, with its arm raised as if giving orders, might represent a person in charge, possibly the suspect himself. He made sure that his eyes were fixed on Diddy. When the screen's tiny, almost invisible symbols were enlarged, they showed a string of numbers that matched the date of an infamous white party in 2012, where news stories had reported illegal behavior. Some jurors wrinkled their brows as they thought about how a curved line of bright red that looked like blood could mean violence or harm. The most shocking thing, though, was the RB mark, which experts thought might have something to do with Roger Bonds, Diddy's former escort, who disappeared after telling secrets about the white parties. The expert came to the conclusion that this picture may have been made by someone who saw what happened in the defendant's circle of power and is hiding secrets that have yet to be figured out. Diddy, who was sitting at the defendant's table, tried to stay calm, but his arms were tight and his gold ring sparkled in the courtroom lights. Even though the room was cool, he could feel sweat on his temples. His lawyers, led by a famous female lawyer known as the Destroyer, spoke out right away against it. She told the judge in a cold voice to throw out the evidence, calling the picture a legal farce. She pointed at the screen and said, "Your Honor, this is just a work of art." There is no solid proof that this painting is connected to any illegal behavior. The prosecution is purposely leading the jury astray with guesswork that has no basis in fact. Another lawyer spoke up, and his deep voice was full of anger. "Of course! You can be sure that the judge gave that a lot of thought because even though we know that these are accusations, there has been no hearing to see if they really amount to obstruction. The thought that he is for the judge to see that he is not even following the rules set by the jail, it is clear that he will not follow any conditions that are set." And those kinds of accusations, for it depend on what the person did while they were in jail, not on whether there was an evidentiary case or not. The R.D. Burke marking could be for any person, an artist, a creator, or something else. The government doesn't have a direct witness to back up these claims. An angry middle-aged man with a gavel hit the ground to get things back in order. He looked at both sides with sharp eyes. "I will look over this information to see if it can be used in court." He said it. Free. But the government can keep going with its case. The prosecutors didn't change their mind. They showed a video clip from a TV show in 2014 in which the camera moved around Diddy's mansion's living room. The painting was put up in a visible place on the wall. With a huge smile on his face, Diddy told the camera, "This song is my memory. It tells the story of my trip." Those words, which were once a brag, were cut deeply. It was the prosecutor's turn to speak to the jury. The defendant didn't just know about the painting. He commissioned it and took pride in it, and now it's turning against him. Everyone in the courtroom held their breath and looked at Diddy. He lost control and shook so badly that his hands shook as he jumped to his feet. The wooden chair hit the ground loudly, ending the show. He yelled, "This is a fake." His voice broke and echoed around the room. He was furious, with deep lines across his forehead and red, flushed cheeks. "This painting isn't real. You're trying to smear me." One of the jurors was startled when he slammed his hand on the table. "This is 50 Cent's work. He wants to destroy me," he yelled at the lawyer. Diddy's lawyers quickly got up and tried to get him to sit down again. "Sean, calm down," someone whispered. He went on, his voice shaking, but Diddy ignored them. "That painting is just art, not evidence," Diddy said. "I didn't do anything wrong." The judge slammed his gavel several times and spoke in a stern voice. Mr. Calm beams, I demand you maintain order, or I will be forced to take stronger measures." Diddy sat down reluctantly, but his eyes flickered as if he were looking for a way out. Reporters in the back row typed quickly on their laptops, knowing that this moment would make the news. The jury, which was made up of both older and younger people, looked at Diddy with a mix of interest and suspicion, as if they were seeing the fall of a once mighty statue. As the light from the courtroom windows faded, the judge's gavel still echoed, but the audience's attention moved away from the abstract painting and Shaw Diddy Combs' outburst. A hushed question hung in the air. Who gave the painting to 50 Cent and why? As the prosecution wrapped up their case, they planted a doubtful seed. This evidence didn't come from a faraway enemy. It came from someone who had called the defendant's family. Those words, like a lightning bolt through the darkness, drew all eyes to the empty seats behind Diddy, where not a single family member was present. At that point, the trial seemed to change direction. It was no longer just a legal battle between Diddy and 50 Cent. Instead, it became a story of a broken family where dark secrets and the pain of loss were slowly shaping a hateful plot. In the shadows of suspicion, Diddy's adopted son Justin Combs quietly came to light, not through testimony or the spotlight, but through painful memories of his mother, Kim Porter, and a deep desire to make the man who hurt his mother pay, no matter what. In a fancy apartment in the middle of the city, neon lights cast a dim glow on the glass walls as Justin Combs sat quietly, his sad eyes fixed on the cityscape. At 31, Justin was the picture of glitz and style, often seen at expensive events, and his life seemed perfect because of his adoptive father, Diddy. He put on a brave face, but deep down he was still hurting from the loss of his mother, Kim Porter, the woman who had been his everything. Kim was a beautiful model and actress who was Diddy's longtime partner and also Justin's emotional anchor. She raised him with all the stress that comes with being with a music mogul. Of course, Justin also saw his mother quietly cry when Diddy was brought up, and she would leave the mansion at night and come back with a tired face. A mom always told me I had to be strong, Justin said in a rare interview, his voice choking. But I didn't know what she was fighting against. Kim's sudden death in 2018 from pneumonia left Justin with an unanswered question. Was Diddy, the powerful man who promised to protect their family, the reason for his mother's pain and untimely death? Kim Porter was more than a mother. She was a symbol of strength. In Justin's eyes, she was the woman who gave up everything to raise him and his siblings. Even though her relationship with Diddy was falling apart, he remembered nights when she sat next to his bed and told him about her dreams, ending with a sad comment like, "There are things I can't tell you." Just when Diddy was seen in the tabloids with other women, from young stars to short-term flings, Kim kept quiet, protecting her children from her pain. Justin, even though he was young, felt the injustice. Mom deserved to be happy, he once said to himself while holding a family picture in their old room. When Kim died, Justin, who was only 24, was devastated. He couldn't believe that his mother, who had always been healthy, had died of pneumonia. News spread in the entertainment world. Some of Kim's friends said in whispers that she knew about Diddy's shady dealings and freaky parties. One of Kim's close friends once told Justin, "Your mom knew too much, and that made her a threat." Even though there was no proof, those words made Justin doubt Kim, which led him to look for the truth. Justin went from being a young man, enjoying the spotlight, to someone with a purpose when he started to doubt his mother's death like a smoldering flame. He started going through his mother's things, like old letters and diaries Kim left in their Los Angeles room. In one entry, Kim wrote in shaking handwriting, "He never stops. There's more to those parties than just parties. We used to bring these bottles with us to the club, right? Plus, this bottle looks like any other Moab bottle. On those bottles right there. They're going to need something to make the girls really, really slippery and all that. They will tell you not to touch those bottles when you get up." Justine shook when he heard those words. "I'm afraid one day the truth will kill me." He remembered how his mother would leave the mansion after a fight with Diddy, her eyes filled with fear. Mom knew something, Justin muttered as he held onto the diary, but he didn't act right away. As Diddy's adopted son, Justin lived in his shadow, enjoying wealth, but also feeling pressure to stay loyal. He knew that going after his adoptive father would cost him everything: fame, money, and safety. But when Diddy was charged with sex trafficking, blackmail, and abuse, Justin saw an opening. He kept asking himself, if Mom knew the truth, why can't I carry on her work? That question made Justin make the brave choice to work together behind Diddy's back with one of his enemies, 50 Cent. But Justin didn't want to be the center of attention. Instead, he stayed out of sight and gave 50 Cent clues that only someone close to him could know. This let 50 Cent use his power and courage to reveal the truth. When investigators looked at the painting 50 Cent showed at the trial, they found a small but important detail. Some marks on the painting that are thought to be connected to Roger Bonds, Diddy's former bodyguard, matched the code of an old safe in Diddy's studio. A small box with a hard drive full of documents and video was sent anonymously to 50 Cent's office from that safe. The prosecution stressed that the box came from someone very close to the defendant without saying who they were. People in the courtroom got chills when they saw the phrase "for her" written in shaky handwriting on the hard drive. Who wrote that phrase, and why did it sound like something from Kim's diary? The Hash the Talking painting led to rumors that the person who left the box could be a member of Diddy's family, motivated by grief rather than money. The box and the story behind it became the most important parts of the case. The prosecution showed that the hard drive had evidence of Diddy using fake companies to pay for freak-off parties and threatening messages sent to victims, including Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. A short video, taken at a mansion in 2017, showed Diddy getting into a heated argument with a woman thought to be Kim Porter. The sound was weak, but Kim's words were clear. "You can't keep hiding this," the prosecutor asked. Did Kim know something so dangerous that it made her a threat? They didn't name Justin, but it seemed likely that the person who made the video knew how useful it was to the case. Justin, who remembers nights when his mother left the mansion, may have found the video among Kim's other things, or even recorded tense moments between her and Diddy. But where did Justin get the video, and why did he send it to 50 Cent? The answer may lie in another detail. Justin is thought to have quietly helped Cassie Ventura, who was about to testify against Diddy. Diddy had been after Cassie, who was a key witness, and call logs from the Metropolitan Detention Center show that he made hundreds of calls to try to scare her or bribe her, including offering her $10,000 to drop her lawsuit. But Cassie was determined to testify and had the support of a secret source. The prosecution said that Cassie had protection from someone close to Diddy's family, who sent her videos and messages to back up her testimony. Who was this person, and why did they risk confronting Diddy and running Diddy? Some sources think that Justin, who was hurting from seeing his mother suffer, contacted Cassie through an intermediary to make sure she was safe. People thought that the message on the hard drive, "Let her tell the truth," was about Cassie, which made them think that Justin was helping from the background. But was he helping for Cassie or his mother? The answer may lie in his love for Kim, who used to be Cassie's close friend before she died. While 50 Cent made headlines with the box in his provocative Instagram posts, Justin chose to stay out of the spotlight. Many people thought his silence, which he didn't show up at the trial, answer interviews, or talk to people who were guessing what role he played, said a lot. Why didn't Justin say anything if he was innocent? Some thought he was waiting for the right time when the evidence was clear. Others thought that Justin, with his heart full of grief, didn't want fame or attention. A post by an ex-boyfriend that went viral said, "Diddy's adopted son is playing a bigger game. This isn't about money, it's about revenge." There was no direct evidence, but the fact that the box came from a Los Angeles address where Justin lives raised suspicions. The prosecution was careful to stress that the person who provided the evidence isn't after money or power. They want justice for someone they care about. Those words cut through Diddy's facade of strength, making him bow his head and look scared. "Well, it's not up to me. It's up to Mr. Combe. It's up to Mr. Combes." And I don't see it happening, because he thinks he's innocent. Plus, he thinks he needs to stand up not only for himself, but also for his family and everyone else who the federal government is after. The rift in Diddy's family added to people's doubts about Justin. While Diddy's kids fought over his empire, which included Bad Boy Entertainment shares in multi-million-dollar homes, Justin seemed to be on his own. A close family member said that Justin wouldn't go to meetings about inheritance, which made his siblings angry. The source said that Justin doesn't care about money and only talks about his mom. Why did Justin turn down wealth when he could easily claim a share? The answer may lie in the fact that he didn't want to take Diddy's empire, but rather to destroy it as revenge for the years his mother suffered. Word. Justin may have been moved to action by Kim's diary, entries about dangerous parties and betrayal. But how did he find the diary? And why did he choose 50 Cent as an ally? One theory is that Justin contacted 50 Cent through a third party, knowing that he was Diddy's unwavering enemy and was brave enough to make evidence public. The story of Justin and 50 Cent working together in secret is speculative, but it makes for a compelling story. Since 50 Cent had a history of fighting with Diddy, he didn't think twice about using the box to get rid of his rival, but he was careful not to reveal the source, posting only vague hints on Instagram. Someone decided that the truth had to come out. Why didn't 50 Cent reveal the provider's name if he knew it was Justin? Some thought he was protecting Justin by keeping him working in the shadows. Others believed 50 Cent kept the mystery going to make the news more interesting. Whatever the reason, the box shook the case and put Diddy's lawyers in a tough spot. They tried to say that the hard drive's documents were fake, but the prosecution countered with proof that the messages matched Diddy's call history. But who could access that history if not someone close? Diddy's eyes darted around the courtroom as if he thought his own family was involved. In this case, Roger Bonds, Diddy's former bodyguard, became a key witness. Bonds, who publicly opposed Diddy and supported Cassie, disappeared from social media after getting threats. The prosecution thought that the RB marking on the painting might be Bonds' handwriting, since he had written down details about the freak-off party before disappearing. But how did the marking get on the painting, and who gave it to 50 Cent? One theory is that Justin, who had access to Diddy's old studio, found Bond's notes, which Kim may have kept as a safety measure. But why did Kim keep those notes? And why did Justin act now? It may have something to do with his pain. Just seeing his mother live in fear, betrayed by the man she loved, made Justin vow to carry on her legacy by breaking Diddy's wall of silence with evidence. As the trial ended, Diddy, leaving the courtroom with his shoulders slumped and eyes vacant, became a symbol of a falling empire. He didn't see what was really going on, though. A loved one who had lost a mother was silently changing his fate. Justin was not there, but he seemed to be a part of every detail, from the note on the painting to the message on the heart. Was Justin really behind it all, or was he just a pawn in a 50-cent game? There were doubts on X about a broken family where love and betrayal were intertwined. Outside of Justin's apartment, city lights twinkled, and he sat quietly holding a picture of his mother as if to whisper, "Mom, I did the right thing." And 50 Cent, with a triumphant smile, knew that truth, like art, always finds a way to speak. The trial about the abstract painting 50 Cent and the suspicions about Diddy's family are more than just a dramatic part of a legal case. They also show deep values about truth, responsibility, and the power of a community's voice, especially in Black culture. The painting, with its blood-red streaks and mysterious RB writing, went beyond its original purpose as art and became a symbol of hidden stories, a reminder that the past can't always be hidden behind a veneer of glamour. Sharing the painting on Instagram wasn't just an attack, it was also a call for unity in the community to stand up to the dark sides of power. Questions about Diddy's family's silence raised issues of loyalty and responsibility. Not to condemn, but to make people think about how to protect the truth, even when it hurts. This story told a universal truth that can't be hidden by money or fame. Truth always finds a way to shine when people are brave enough to listen and act. The point of this story is not to judge a specific person, but to celebrate the strength of the Black community in using art, media, and courage to have their voice heard again. Not only was the #ThatTalking painting a big deal online, it was also a banner for people who were forced to stay quiet, from the victims of the case to people who have fought for justice throughout history. It's a reminder that Black culture has a long history of being strong, and that pain can always be turned into strength. The red streaks in the painting tell a story of survival, and so does a Black journalist comment. "We don't just tell our story, we paint it, and every stroke is a declaration." This story also shows that those who do wrong are responsible, as well as those who choose silence, whether they are family or friends. It sets a new standard for loyalty to truth above all else. But the story doesn't just praise bravery. It also asks us to look deeper into the memory, secrets, or choices we hang up to hide. If a single streak of color can shake an empire, what lies waiting for us in the dark corners of our own lives? Are we all holding a painting that is ready to speak when the time comes? This question isn't just for Diddy, it's for everyone reading. It asks, when truth knocks, will you open the door or continue to frame it behind a wall of lies? No sound,